Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Brett.
And welcome to BrettandMike.com. Brett, today we've got an opportunity to talk to people about the new Windows 8.1 interface.
Yeah, absolutely. The Windows 8.1 interface, which is really a refinement of the Windows 8 interface, kind of brings some things into it that make it a little more agreeable to some people because, quite frankly, some people were put off by Windows 8.
I was going to say the Windows 8, the well-loved, well-appropriated. Honestly, I think people haven't given it a fair shot because the more I've used it, the more I actually really like it. I prefer it now over any other interface.
I just think it's a little misunderstood.
And why is that? Why do you think that is the case?
Well, people don't like change.
That's true.
They don't.
I haven't changed my underwear in about 2 weeks.
Okay, a little bit of TMI there. But anyway, with regard to the interface, it has. We've had the same interface for 17 years. We've all been using the start button, right?
Right.
And now we have this start screen, and it's weird.
Yep. So what we want to do is take a look at it. And here we've got a studio set up, and I'm just going to go ahead and flip if I can. We'll put the screen behind us. And there you go. And you now see the Windows interface. And just so you realize we're doing this live as we record this, I've got here a Windows Surface device. And you'll notice as I scroll left and scroll right, you're seeing the same thing behind us. That little circle that you see is actually where my finger is touching the screen. And we're using, what is this device?
That is the Microsoft Surface Pro tablet.
This is the Pro, this is the first one, right?
Yeah,
this
version
is
1.
version 2, right?
Yeah, nothing fancy here.
So here's the screen. I've been using Windows for years and years, and suddenly I see this, and what do? I immediately panic, right? Because it's different, and it's not what I'm used to.
No, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's not completely workable. It just means we have to learn a new way of interacting with Windows.
All right, so I'm willing to open my mind a little, consider some new opportunities. You have a chance to sell me on this. What's the first thing I should be looking at that makes me think this isn't as bad as I might have thought it was?
Well, the first thing, and we'll cover off many more aspects of these in the rest of the series, but
right.
Don't be afraid. If I touch right here, you still have a desktop.
Back to where I was. Okay. So no panic there.
So you'll notice you have all of your applications pinned down at the bottom. You can layer upon layer icons from east to west on that desktop.
Yep.
That's a familiar experience.
And as Brett said, we've got a lot of topic to cover on this particular thing. So we're going to break it up into like 5 different segments. But this one's just kind of that first interaction. I do see, I don't want to spoil any thunder, I do see a button down there that wasn't there before, that Windows Start button.
That is one of those refinements that 8.1 added, yeah, okay. And we'll talk about that.
Very good. So why did Microsoft decide to make the change? I mean, just from a broad stroke, big picture idea, what was the point behind making the change?
Touch.
How so?
Well, honestly, Microsoft has had touch.
You froze up there for a
second. No. I was just trying to think how to articulate this. Microsoft has had touch in their products since 2002. There was a version of Windows XP that supported touch. Nobody used it. There was Windows Vista. You guys don't know because nobody bought it, but it supported touch. Windows 7 supported touch. Nobody used it. Now that Windows 8 has come out, whether you like or don't like this new interface, look at all the devices that have come out of it.
But this is, I hear this, people will tell me, so here's Microsoft shoving touch down my throat. I got to use touch. Touch this, touch that, touch everything. And that's not really the case, is it?
I completely disagree with that viewpoint. Because if you go to a mall and you see anywhere where there's a kiosk or something in that mall, invariably people of any age group will walk up and touch it. Touch the screen.
It's inevitable. You can't go to the bank without using a touch monitor. You can't check in an airline without using a touch monitor.
Get gas.
You can't buy gas without using. I've seen. I tell the story all the time. My daughter. I need to check her out from high school for a doctor's appointment. So we're standing there. We're in the office area getting her checked out, and there was another couple that was with us. They were getting their daughter for something, and while we're talking, the mom stepped up to the monitor and just started popping on the monitor left, right. It took about 30 seconds, and finally the daughter turned and was like, Mom, it's not a touch monitor, be an idiot. But how many times have we been somewhere where you just instantly, naturally think
people
that
expect touch?
there?
Microsoft's not forcing anything on anybody. It's just the way the technology's going.
Use the mouse when it makes sense to use the mouse. Use the keyboard when it makes sense to use the keyboard. I personally, all these devices, I love the Surface, I love all these amazing devices, but I need a keyboard. I don't like the LED keys, and a lot of people say the same thing. Great, use a keyboard if it makes sense for you.
All right.
Or use touch when it makes
Mr.
sense.
1990s, it's called soft keys.
Soft keys.
Yes,
That's what the LED...
Well, it's an LED screen.
Right.
The keys that pop up are known as soft keys.
Do you like them? Do you like the soft keys?
In a pinch, they're okay. I'm a
don't
thumb typer on a screen, but if I'm going to be doing
Don't
some
like
work, you got to have a
Don't
keyboard.
like them. Get the keyboard. Get the add-on keyboard.
Okay, but in a pinch they'll do. You have to admit.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you that. All right, so that's what this session's going to be about. This is just the introduction to kind of set it up. But now, in our next session, we're going to deep dive on the interface.
We're going to do a series that kind of breaks down how you interact with Windows 8 and 8.1.
Excellent. So stick around, watch our next session, and we'll go right into it.
Absolutely.